Oh my gosh, you're here.
Welcome to My Chatbot Life, where chatbot marketers share high converting strategies in this new conversational marketplace. Each week, MKJ introduces you to bot builders who are just like you, a little techie, a little markety, and a whole lot of geeky. Buckle up as Chatbot Mom enjoys another journey into My Chatbot Life.
All right, bot buddies, I have a special treat for you. Two of my favorite people. These two are some of my favorite makeup, some of my favorite people. And we called ourselves the Cam Fam, and they are definitely part of that. So I get to chat with David Carreno and Melanie Blanco, and they actually have a boutique agency that's called Damel Digital. You know, David, Melanie, you got it. Put it together. David, Melanie, welcome to the conversation. How y'all doing?
Thank you.
Really good. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for having us. This is awesome.
Pleasure and honor.
Oh, I'm really excited. I can't wait to dive into this because I know you guys have a rich history of doing all kinds of different things. So I have to say it right though. I have to say, how are all y'all doing? Not just y'all.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, it's got to be all y'all.
We're in South Texas. So
there you go. I got to say it right. All right. So we met, actually, David, I think, didn't we chat at Conversations 2018?
2018.
Yeah. I knew we had chatted.
I came up to you. Yeah, because you had this presentation, which was to me it was like mind-boggling. Is the 1 million in 90 days, right? So you had that chatbots were completely new to me. That was like the first time I kind of heard about them. So I was kind of close. So I went to Conversations 2018, and there were a few presentations that I really liked. Yours was one of them. I was like, oh my God, that's because I have done webinars before for clients and build the whole funnel. And when I saw that, I was like, ooh, interesting. I can totally do that. And yeah, I think I came up to you and we just had a conversation. And then we saw each other again on, what was it? Digital Marketer. No, was it?
No. Social Media Marketing World.
Social Media Marketing World.
Yes, definitely. Yes. So, you know, that's how relationships work, right? And we probably were in each other's worlds and kind of chatting here and there and, you know, back and forth. And, you know, we are such a small community, really, small community within the marketing realm. Bot builders who are passionate as we are about this stuff it's a really small community, and you can get to know people and you can know who you relate to and who you you know you're like and you want to spend time with. And I encourage anyone listening to start building those relationships. Go to events, go online and just reach out to people and start talking to them and offering value. And I'm telling you, it will pay you back beyond anything you've ever thought. Because then we got into a group together, the Chatbot Agency Mastermind, and then I got to meet Mel, and you know, we just keep going and keep going. And when I think of people who I want to, if there's a particular client that comes to me that I can't help, because I'm very specific about the type of people and the type of businesses that I want to help, then the first people I look to are the people that I know, that I've already related to and know what kind of work you do. So I'm telling you, building these relationships is it. So Melanie, how did you get into this whole chatbot thing, right?
That was actually last year. I was in Spain spending some time with my family. That's when he went to Conversations 2018. And I started that, like I took my first course, which is the free ManyChat course. And I was like, oh my God, this is something new. That's something that I really need to dig into this. And I started working on chatbots for one of my pages, my Facebook pages. And after that, it was just like, I loved it.
What were you doing before you got into chatbots? What were you doing as a job or business?
So we had a client, just one, and we were doing Facebook ads for her like the marketing strategy for her business. And then after that, I was just like trying to figure it out. So I had to take a job here in South Texas. I worked as a barista. I worked as a manager in a beauty salon. So, but at the same time, I was working on the chatbots and yeah, doing our stuff at home until we got to a point where we really needed both
Yeah.
of us to be at home.
Well, actually, a little bit before that, which I think, in terms of one of the things that attracted us both to it, or why we kind of feel comfortable in the whole conversation creation, if you will, because that's you get to map out conversations with chatbots, is that we were both we that's how we met. And as you can tell, she is an actress, as I was, so we were in the whole acting business. She's been a model, so having that sort of training as an actor, where your entire career is built on conversations, like
Good point.
yeah, the things that like we scripts, plays, and that you're like reading it all the time, right? So it's this back and forth, and at least for me, that's actually one of the most enjoyable parts in it, because it's so weird, because it's your training comes back, is like when you're preparing for a scene and you have an audition, you have this conversation in your mind. So so developing characters and all that stuff, it's a really good skill. And I think probably that's why I gravitated towards it. And we kind of both resonate with that, with creating conversations.
And it's actually like entertaining people.
Yeah.
That's one of the main things that I want to do when I'm building the bot, is to give a funny and entertaining experience. But it's interesting because we both come from the entertainment industry. So yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, it is. And I know I've shared this with you before. Alexis, my dear Alexis, she's my right-hand person, left-hand person. She basically runs my company. She's an actress too.
Mm-hmm.
And she is really good at this.
Yeah.
She's really good at creating these things. And so it makes sense. You're adopting a persona, right?
Yeah.
And you're creating, like you said, a conversation and a flow and an outline of what you want to happen. So I guess script writers, authors, actors, they would all understand this intuitively, I would assume.
Yeah, I think so. For me, it was very natural and actually very entertaining. As very different than creating a website, or very different than creating an ad, which is just kind of like a monologue, and you have to, you have all these things, all this structure that you need to yada yada yada. It's salesman, right? It's salesmanship, which is great. But a bot, it does have, even though it's a salesmanship, it's actually a conversation. I have a bot that I love writing for. This is the Ricardo Montalban Foundation. And Ricardo Montalban, who passed away, he had a very particular way.
Very unique.
Speaking,
oh yes.
Like, fine Corinthia. Another. So
yes.
So when you're writing, we're using all these, trying to mimic his way of speaking. It's so much fun, and a lot of people dig it. They're like laughing emoji.
You can hear him, right? You can hear him in your head as you're reading that.
Yeah.
You totally can. See, I'm not crazy.
You're not. No. I would totally hear him reading that copy and thinking about that. Yeah.
You know what happened to me one day? Because I usually am talking at the same time. So I'm like, hey, Melanie, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. So I actually, instead of putting hi first name, I put hi, Melanie, and I send it to everyone in the broadcast. I'm like, oh my God, I put Melanie because I usually have that conversation with myself. I'm like, holy
I need to.
I sent another broadcast like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Gee, my bot had a hiccup. We always say that. We always say that. I'm sorry, my bot had a hiccup.
Yeah, I'm always learning.
Yes, exactly.
I think
I thought you were Melanie. Sorry.
I think I need to take her out on more dates, because she needs entertainment and she's talking to herself.
She's talking to herself in the bot. Yeah.
Exactly.
I know. Well, we live this stuff, right? I mean, very rarely am I off. It's just, I'm always, my mind is always thinking about this stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why I say it grabbed me by the throat and it has not let go. And the day
Mhm.
that I'm not thinking about this and not like thinking about what I can do and how this would work, and it's puzzle pieces, it's solving a
Yeah.
problem. I'm a problem
Yeah.
solver. And the day that I'm not enjoying that anymore and not doing it instinctively and intuitively is the day I'll stop. But
Yeah.
until then, I'm having a blast. Like you, Melanie, I do the same thing. I say it out loud as I'm typing. It's so fun. It's so fun. So, all right. There are, I know, especially when you start building your business and you have to rely on it for your income, for survival, for paying your bills and doing the fun things that you want to do. That's when it takes on a whole different meaning. It's not my husband is a tax accountant and he definitely has clients who keep trying to come in and say they have a business, but it really is a hobby.
Yeah.
And so what are some of the mindset shifts, the mindset obstacles you've had to overcome in building either this or your previous gig? And how did you do that?
A really good question. I think in my case, since I've been doing acting for so long, and this is new for me. I mean, I've been doing this for like almost 2 years. It's that self sabotage, like, what are you doing? You're not capable of doing this. Um, but then I'm like, wait a minute, just be present. And you're working at home, you both are making a living out of what you do online. There are people asking you for your advice and your expertise. So just relax. So I learned to listen to that critical voice, accept it, not engage with that voice, and just let it go. It sounds great. Sometimes
Like
it
clouds.
works.
Yeah, it sounds nice, but
Sometimes it doesn't. But at least I'm aware, like, okay, it's my critical voice. All right. I'm aware of you.
hello.
Bye.
I'm gonna not listen right now.
Yeah. I think we can, a lot of us can relate to the whole imposter syndrome, right? So unless you came from, I don't know, you were an intern at an agency that had big numbers and all those
Right.
things, then you can rely on your experience. But one of the hardest things for me, and I still struggle with it, is the whole imposter syndrome. Because we were doing acting and I was making sort of like half a living from it because it's a gig based. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I got to do something else, and I started doing it sort of on the side as a hobby, just internet marketing in general. So starting with, okay, I'll charge a client $200, just because I don't know what else to charge. I don't made them X amount of money. It's like, okay, I kind of have this, and then get another client with a little more. And but to jump from that hobby or side hustle into a complete business where you actually have to charge money in order to live, and enough in order to be able to pay your bills, is definitely that imposter syndrome. It's like, I haven't really done much. Sometimes that's true. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes if you look at your numbers, it's like, oh wow, I have an ad where I make 3,000% return on investment for a client. Oh, they gave me $500 and I made them $14,000. Those are pretty good results, but you
Yeah.
still have that sort of thing. For me, the thing really to overcome it, and this is like a dad influence, I suppose, is and I don't know if it's the best solution, is just like sit down and do the work.
Yeah.
For me, I'll sit
Action.
down for action. I'll sit down and do it for 12 hours. She can probably tell you 12 hours a day. And I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but building the discipline of working every day on it for an extended amount of time, and having a bit of um, a bit of some structure. Like once we started, we had a really big breakthrough once we started waking up at 5 a.m. and
Yes.
exercising, is the Robin Sharma thing. So miracle
Yes.
morning type of stuff, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Wake up
Mhm.
5 a.m., work out, do your journal, and get to work on your most important thing. That had a really, really big impact and took
It's
us
true.
to the next level. So I think it's systems for your own mindset that that make a
So
difference,
true.
you know? And
Completely.
in the end, it's just sitting down and doing it.
That's it. Yeah, and putting it out there. So I'm here to tell you, as I've done bots from $500 to now $25,000 builds and more,
Nice.
it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
It
Mhm.
I
doesn't.
see.
It gets
Interesting.
easier, but it's, I looked at this and I'm putting out this proposal for this client after they did my whole marketing automation intensive that I've told you guys about, and where they actually pay me to dive into their business and work out an actual proposal that takes in a lot of their specific custom stuff for their business. So you get that done, and then I'm building this stuff out, and it's adding up and adding up and adding up, and I'm like, what? I can't. Are you sure? I can't charge. Can I charge 20,000? What? I don't know. I don't know if maybe that's too much. Maybe, that it's just we're not used to that.
Yeah.
It's a breakthrough. It's a barrier that we haven't hit yet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you compare yourself to other people, like $25,000, it's nothing.
No.
But so it's like, okay, this is a lot for me, for my mindset.
Yep.
But there are people getting that for one episode in a TV show, and they get that, like
Yeah.
Yes.
it's
Yes.
insane. So it's like it is possible there are people getting paid that amount and even way more. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think
why?
we're in a really good. We'll see 5 years from now, right? But
Right.
we're in a very interesting time in terms of bots because the experts of the bot world have only been doing it for 2 years,
Yeah.
right? It's not like, oh, I've been in marketing for 20 or 30 years, then you go like, whoa, I'm just starting. But people come from different backgrounds. If you have a marketing background, I think that helps a lot because you understand sales cycles and offers and copy and all that stuff. But yeah, the foremost experts have been doing it for 2 years.
Yes.
This just started.
Yes.
So that helps a little. That's a bit of a mind jujitsu I sometimes have to tell myself. It's like, you know what? It's like, I'm only 2 years behind. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you're not even behind. You didn't start just today. You're doing, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, and one of the things that I hear you with the discipline, I really do think that that's important. I know we kind of minimize it a little bit, but it is really, I think that is what allows you to discipline your mind to let those things go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because the more you get into the routine where you just do it. So the thing that had made the difference for me is the Tony Robbins, he does a cold plunge. Well, I don't have a cold plunge pool, but I get in my shower and then turn it on. So it
Yeah.
starts, and now it's cold. It's really cold. And so that I don't even think about it. It's not an option. I don't negotiate with myself. I don't talk to myself. I don't do anything. It's just my routine. I get undressed, open the shower, stand in the shower, turn it on. And I know what's going to happen, but I just don't think about it. Let that thing pass. And because I've been able to do that and make it an automatic routine, I can now slowly but surely get those things out of my head, and not let them overwhelm me and go through the whole imposter, like maybe I shouldn't do this. Why am I doing this? That's too much. All those things that we say. It's just
Absolutely.
Yeah, at the end,
And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm with you. There is magic in momentum.
Yes.
There really is. And with this whole process of getting up at 5 a.m., it was really an experiment. It was 90 days, right? The thing that I wasn't anticipating is the things that happen as a result of doing something every day that you didn't even plan. Like, for example, it's great that we started developing an agency and we have our outbound marketing and all of that. It's a numbers game, but then there are these other offers that come in from somewhere.
Who knows where?
Right. So these opportunities that come from somewhere that to me is a direct result of that magic of momentum. Right. So you just keep going. And one of my teachers a long time is when I was studying neurolinguistic programming, he said like luck. I'm translating because it was in Spanish, but it says luck can find you easier, or it's easier for luck to find you if you're moving around. If you're just stuck there not moving,
the chances of it plopping down on you are much less. Yes. Yes, yes,
You were
yes.
going to
And
say something. So,
No,
yeah.
I forgot it.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
not important.
But it is that, and it the daily routine part, I used to fight that,
Mm,
really strongly fight it, until I finally I think it was another Tony Robbins thing or something, where but it was finally like, how ridiculous to fight routine. That, who am I
mm,
fighting against? And it was because of my upbringing, right? A very controlled household. So I fight anything that's being imposed on me, and even though it's me imposing it on myself,
Mm-hmm.
right? How
yeah.
ridiculous. And so now it's just
Yes.
not an option. You just get up, you just do this, you just exercise, you do the things you do. I end always with a thank you for this time and this moment that I was able to participate in.
Yeah.
And it is just it's a breath of fresh air,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I don't know if this happens to you, but because I'm exactly the same way where I don't like structure. I don't like if I, like they say people will go like, you need to document and put everything in a calendar every 15 minutes, and I've tried to do that for myself, right? So I'm gonna go dun 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 dun. I'm so against people telling me what to do that if I
Yes.
tell myself that I need to do something, I will rebel against myself.
See?
So
Yes.
what I have found
That rebel.
is
I'm
that
not
rebel.
crazy.
Yeah, it's totally that rebel, and as an artist, you kind of want this freedom, and all of that is great. But what I've found is the little things, is the little routines, right? So instead of trying to work out, let's say an hour a day,
Oh yeah.
well, I'm going to work for 1 minute. I'm going to do 20 push-ups every so and so. I'm
Yeah.
going to just wake up at 5 a.m. and do my meditation for 5 minutes, and later it will be more. So it's the little things that you do that add up,
Yes.
that I think is more sustainable, and I think it brings about bigger change than trying to bulldoze yourself. And it makes sense, right? Because you're developing into another person
Yeah.
as opposed to willing, the reality against
Hmm.
yourself. So
Yeah.
it's just you changing a little bit at a time. Before
Yeah.
you know it, it's
Your whole
it's just
life is
in.
different.
Yeah.
Yes. It's baby steps everywhere. Like the getting in the shower. That is such a simple little thing.
Yeah.
And the cold lasts for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
right? 2 minutes at the most. And it's done. And that little, you're right, that little step then leads to the next one and the next one. And yeah, you can actually change your life that way. What a
Yeah.
concept. And especially with bots, you don't start with a humongous bot building out this huge thing. You start little by little, right? No different. Wow. And I know
Mm-hmm.
you guys are doing really amazing things with ads and local stuff and coupons and all kinds of things. Do you anticipate, is there a particular industry that you really would like to work in, that really interests you that you haven't yet?
Hmm. I will say like all the self-development, self-help, that type of, I mean, I love Rachel Hollis. I told you before, like
Yeah.
she's my idol. I love her so much. Or Mari Pordio. Um, so I love that type of people. But honestly, my experience so far, it's been just like being open to whatever the market is asking for. Like as you mentioned, we have this page and it's all about coupons and offers. And it was just an experiment that we started last year on December last year. And it's growing so freaking fast.
Mm.
But what I'm doing is I'm using that platform for me like a lab, so I can experiment and I can play with chatbots. And I'm learning so much. And as you said, I started the chatbots in that page with very small things. Now I'm like, oh my God, have you seen the progress since last year to where I am right now, doing Facebook Lives, using different growth tools that I've never thought about. So it's just like sometimes, of course, I like to visualize what I want, but what is working right now is just being open to whatever comes and
Yeah.
whoever needs the help.
Yeah.
And right now we have a project in mind, because we found a lot of small businesses, local businesses, they don't have the budget to pay our fees. So what we're thinking is to create a course for them, to walk them through every single step that they need, because they are in the very basics. Like some of them, they need to start a Facebook page, and they need tools to post on Instagram, Facebook, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something that we are, and it's the same, like, okay, so let's listen to the audience, listen to the market, and let's offer what we have.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, it's I'm a big fan of the Spanish market because it's underserved and it just opens up so many possibilities. So the one that this project is in Spanish, and also I'm really a big fan of the local business. Alfredo is when he came on, I was like, yeah, right. It's my peeps.
Yes.
Precisely because of that, especially right here in the Valley, and also I'm from Mexico, so I know people that have businesses that can't really afford not even like $500 a month to pay an agency, and I can make a living charging $500 to do all the marketing for someone.
Right.
That doesn't mean that it cannot be done. It's just the model needs to be different.
Yeah.
So I think the opportunity for chatbots for local marketing is absolutely. I mean, look, Mackenzie's absolutely killing it with it. So I'm a big fan of that. That's really where I would like to go, because everybody kind of forgets about the little guy, right? So we all want to, of course, we want to have the client that pays us 8,000, 20,000.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But there's all this other sector of the market that nobody wants to work with them, and I understand it because they don't have enough money. But if we can find a model to be able to serve them and at the same time be able to make a living, I mean, that to me really is where my interest and my heart is, because they need a lot of help. When we talk to them, it's like, this sounds great, I would love to do it, I just cannot afford it.
And then if you can train them, if you can, and if you can do like a workshop setting, right? Where on a, Monday, when most of them, maybe if it's a restaurant, their restaurants aren't that busy on Mondays, right? So on a Monday afternoon or morning or whatever, do a workshop training and take them through every one day a week, a different aspect of this kind of marketing, and help them educate themselves. And then they're going to find that they're not going to really have time to do it themselves as they grow, right? And that's when you step in and say, we can help.
Because right now, that's exactly it. Because right now, when they say, well, I can't afford it, it's like, well, you don't really want to pay for this right now, but you can afford me.
Yeah, right.
Because we've gone through this, like, not too long ago with a couple. They have a business, and it's not that they don't have money. It's just that they don't see the importance. But if you teach them and you walk them and they see the results by themselves, most likely they're going to hire you, or at least they're going to understand the potential.
Exactly. And then once they start making more money, of course they can, but then they're going to be too busy to be able to continue and keep it up themselves. It's all those things. And again, baby steps. It's kind of the way it goes.
And the other thing on that I really will, I'm just kind of, what I got tiptoeing my way into is cross-platform, right? So I saw a great campaign combining Google My Business and Messenger. It was like, when I saw it, like, whoa! And this was done by a big hotel. It wasn't a little guy, like a little mom and pop shop, but Google My Business with Messenger for a mom and pop shop. That now we're talking. Because Google My Business can be done with very little. You don't have to spend money on ads. And once you have them on the bot, they can spend a little bit of money on ads and actually increase their clientele. So I like that part. That's a part that I would like to develop, or that I would like to do more of.
Wow. Well, then that's what you got to go for. And the same thing with local businesses. People are used to, they're a little more open to possibly using SMS, using their, giving their phone numbers so that you can text them a coupon code or text them, or use their phone to scan something.
Yeah.
It's just, especially in physical location, you look at the person's eyes, you see the restaurant you're going to, you're a little more likely to be able to give that information and get something in return for it. So now that we have that ability to use SMS and email and all of that. And
WhatsApp is coming. You can't do it yet, but our biggest market or our biggest potential for us, since we're bilingual, is Mexico and Latin America, which uses primarily WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Yes. And I was, yesterday I spent like 3 hours just trying to find a software to do the same thing that I'm doing with ManyChat for WhatsApp, but I couldn't find anything right now like that works with Mac. I don't know why. Yeah. But the ones that are using it, the big company, it's from Brazil. The other one is from India. And it's true, when we were in India, remember that they use WhatsApp instead of SMS. Same thing in Spain. They don't use SMS. They only use WhatsApp. Yeah. So I'm finding my way to do the automation through WhatsApp, and as he said, combining.
It's coming. It's coming. Facebook's going to open it.
Yeah, it's chat marketing.
So we just don't know when.
Chat, Facebook, chat, ManyChat.
Yeah, hello. Well, they own it, so they bet, so they're gonna deploy it on Instagram and WhatsApp. We just don't know exactly when. So it's coming. And if you have the skills to do this on ManyChat now, ManyChat will be open to those other platforms as well. So you'll just be able to transfer all those skills to the other platform. Yeah, very easy.
And people are already doing it, MK. Especially in Mexico, they're doing it with WhatsApp and Instagram. Like, people have businesses. And it's so interesting because they're doing, some of them are doing thousands of US dollars in business, and they literally are texting and they go to the OXXO, which is 7-Eleven, deposit to this account. They don't even have a systemized, but it's already there.
Yeah.
So
just waiting for the technology to catch up.
Exactly.
That's all.
Yeah. The business is already there.
And then once they can actually buy right inside the bot, there's no more issue with anything. Just purchase it right there. And then, it's our world is changing quite a bit, and it's pretty exciting to be a part of it. I'm really having a blast. It's amazing. And I can't wait to see what you all do with the markets that are using WhatsApp. Once it opens, it's just going to be amazing what you can help them create. If they're already selling, these businesses are already selling on the platform, you will just make it 10 times easier.
Yeah, that's where we're like, we're
watching. We got you. Yeah, we got you. Wow. So, all right. In terms of business itself, and especially with your acting background, I'm sure you have lots of things in this too, but just in business, not just mindset, are there any specific business obstacles that you have had to overcome? And how did you do that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for me, the one that we still work on is processes, right? So
that's what I was gonna say.
SOPs, right? Processes for everything, because it's interesting because we do it, and almost all of the businesses that I've had an opportunity to work in, whether it's as an actor, whether it's as a techie, because I used to be a techie, so all these businesses, we all lack processes, and I can appreciate why the businesses that can grow are the ones that have the processes in place
since the beginning.
Since the beginning, because no matter what I work 12, 13, 14 hours sometimes a day. And sometimes I get very little done because I'm redoing things that I haven't put processes in place. Yes. So for me, that has been the biggest obstacle, and I'm slowly learning. So I'm starting to outsource, but you need the processes in place to be able to outsource. You need the processes in place to be able to deliver on what you promise, because a boutique agency is very easy to say, I'm just going to get this done. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have this process and rely on that process, you can never grow, because you're going to run out of time. You're going to run out of bandwidth.
There's just one of you. Yes. Well, with you guys too, but if one of you is doing more of the tech, that's it.
Yeah, and the other thing I will say it's uh, me myself. I tend to put my attention and my focus on so many things at the same time that I got to a point where I'm like burnt out, like no energy, and I keep doing that over and over and over. Like I keep doing like different things all the same at the same time, so I don't get anything done,
Right.
but I'm exhausted.
Yes.
So it's so hard. Like sometimes, like just pick one and do that one for 3 months. But I haven't been able to do that. But yeah, that's a challenge.
It is. And I'll tell you, I have spoken with 3 different high level agency owners that I personally know and am friends with, and we chat. And I won't say who they are, but they all have courses and they all have agencies. And it's always the case. They pendulum swing over and they focus on the agency, and the courses drop. And then they're like, oh no. And they come over here and focus on the courses. And then no clients or very few. It's just the way it works. Where you put your focus is what will grow.
Yeah.
And if I agree with you, Mel, I would do the exact same thing and think I was doing amazing. And I wasn't, because I was trying to do so many things. Didn't get any of them done half as well as if I had just focused on one. But it's always that fear. Oh, well, what if I'm not doing this one? And that's the one I need to do. And that's the one that's going to grow. It's just always that. And you just have to trust and just let that other stuff go and focus on one thing.
And I completely agree. And even with that, I think if you have, because I see it in like the day, and also looking at, I don't know, an Elon Musk or what's his name, Sir Richard Branson, right? So it goes into a company full on 3 months, and then his goal is to grow the processes and walk away so he can do something else.
Yeah.
So even in that, and when I have a lot of things, the Pomodoro, right? So it's a process.
Yes.
So if I go for an hour and a half and take a 5-minute break or walk outside or juggle a little bit, then I can jump back in. Yeah. But if I try to muscle through, I just can't do it. But it's again, putting the process. If I need to do 5 things, I need to have the process in place to be able to do those 5 things and not a sloppy process. Yeah. So yeah, for me, it's been process, and it's a struggle. It really is, because now you develop one and it's like, oh, I haven't done that, I haven't done this. So yeah, I would say for me it boils down to that.
The other thing that I was gonna say, as an adult, we forget to play. We forget to have fun. There is an amazing book, Play It Away.
I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, it's so good, because recently I've been taking these classes. It's not Zumba. It's about the movement of the body, dancing, but anyway, it's so fun. So I became more efficient since I've been taking these classes, because I'm learning to, again, as an adult, I'm learning to enjoy life and enjoy the small things and play. Like it's just an hour, but it's an hour dancing. So I think that's important to implement that in your business as well. Because otherwise it's like sometimes I get up in the morning and I'm like, shit, I need to sit in that chair. I need to be in that freaking computer.
I know.
And I don't want to do that. Because it's boring. I mean, we're human beings. We need to have fun sometimes. So that's something, to me, that's something that has changed my life. And I mean, it's changing my life. Wow. Which is like, take some time to do something that you enjoy, and even when you are working, just get up and do some movements and whatever it works for you.
Definitely. I'm
play
lucky.
Some music and jump.
Yes,
do
music
something.
Especially. Music does it for me. That's all I need to do is put on some music and my mood changes immediately. But I'm lucky, and I'm going to be sad because my youngest son still lives at home. He just turned 18. He's going to go to college next year, next fall. And so I just walk out and just have a conversation with him. And, you know, we talk about different things, topics of the day, or he shows me stuff he's doing, or he talks about a book it just switches my mindset. Even though, yes, I'm here and I'm constantly thinking, that is so important to, it's like a refresher for your brain, right? It's a refresher for your soul to just do something different and allow yourself that time. But we would actually have family dance parties, family dance night, where we'd move the furniture and just play music and just dance when they were younger. And of course, you know, they go through middle school and they're just like, oh, I don't want to. I'm like, come on, let's just move. I don't care if you just move back and forth on your feet. I don't care. And they remember that. They remember the songs that we used to dance to. And so, yeah, I might have to just go out and have a one-person dance party all by my little lonesome when he goes. Because I love that, definitely.
Yeah,
wow.
I think it's important. And I know I'm beating a dead horse, but even that is, it's I suppose getting to know yourself, and aside from yourself is getting to know this instrument as the body. You can't hold focus more than 2 hours. That's a known fact, right? So every 2 hours at the most, you need to break. You need to do something. You need to do push-ups. Middle of the When I'm disciplined, towards the end of the day, I'll do a Wim Hof breathing technique that just kind of resets your brain. So it kind of gives you that second boost. But that could be exercise. But that's again going back to the processes, right? And if you look at big companies, they're already aware of that, right? So it's in the culture, it's in the process of the company that at a certain amount of time you need to break, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. Billie Jean Jean's marketing used to have an Xbox in his office. So
and it's mandated by law. I mean, that's why employees are supposed to take breaks. I mean, it's supposed to be tied into their work schedule that they're supposed to take breaks, and lunches and all those kinds of things. So I agree. All right, guys. So let's just imagine we're way into the future, because I think all of us are going to live to 130, 150 years old, right? So it's a long time from now. And you're looking back on your life, and someone is going to actually write your biography. What would the title of that book be?
I go first.
Yeah, I would say hopping around, because I'm always jumping from one thing to another and from one country to another.
And you're going to continue that for the rest of your life, I take it.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Like, I can't. I mean, I like routine, but I'm always hopping around.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Hopping. She's a hopper.
Around.
Yep.
Yeah, she's a hopper. Mine would be life after failure. That's what I would call it.
Life after failure. You failed? I don't know. Really?
Well, yeah, I think there's this stigma of failure and what failure is, right? As it's like, I never failed, but we kind of do all the time. And for me, and the reason why I say that is because, you know, I studied this I went as an actor. I dedicated 23 years of my life, 18 of those professional, and that's like my dream. I left a promising career as a doctor because my dad's a doctor, so I would have had a practice. I would have been set. And then I used to be a neurolinguistic programming instructor, and I was doing really well when I was 19, so that was a good future. So I left all that. So you pursue this dream. You say, screw it, I'm gonna go for it, passion. After 23 years, that sort of doesn't pan out. And at some point it's like, I gotta do something else. So I gotta surrender this. And for me, it's like I felt like a failure because I'd spent most of my adult life as a failure. I mean, as an actor. So coming to terms with that and saying it's okay. There is life after failure. It's not. I'm not going to stay here. It's something I did. It's not something I am. So I'm not a failure. It's something I failed at. I didn't achieve what I wanted to. So if I can mind jujitsu my way out of calling it something else, but in my terms, it's like, you failed at this. And there is life after that.
There is. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for the explanation, because I agree 100%. The focus, the thing you said, I need to repeat and make sure everyone hears this and understands. That's something that happened. That's not who I am. Right? I am not a failure. I failed at that particular thing failed.
Yeah.
It's so important. I stayed in that I am identifying with that for too many years after the recession. It was awful because I identified with that, and it was like I failed, and I couldn't get past that until finally my wonderful accountant looked at me and said, "Why are you holding on to this business? What it's failing. Why are you hanging on to it?" And I said, "Because if it fails, that means I'm a failure." And he said to me, "You are not your business."
Yeah.
And I was bawling, and I gave him a big sloppy wet kiss because he happens to be my husband, and said, "All right, I get it. What are we going to do?" And, turned it around. But
And look
that's
now.
yeah.
Hello.
And I would not be where I am if I didn't do
Yes.
that. I would still be stuck. I would not have been able to take these opportunities, like you said, and be open. That's not open, that's closed. And it changed, and that all changed in 2012, I think it was 2013, something like that. So I held on to it from like 2008 to 2012, four flipping years.
Yeah.
Same
Because
here.
the thing is that you are the magic. So you bring the magic wherever you go.
Yeah.
You are the one with that power, MKJ. Yep. So whatever you do, you're going to take that power into whatever you want to do. So you take that with you.
Yes. I didn't then. I do now, because I've grown through that. Yes, I agree. Thank you, Mel. Definitely. So, all right, we got your titles. Who's going to write them? Who's going to write those books?
My mom.
Your mom.
Yeah, totally.
For me, Aaron Sorkin.
There you go. There's
Aaron Sorkin.
Going back to that world.
Yeah, Aaron Sorkin. He's, for those of you who don't know who Aaron Sorkin is, he's a master at dialogue. So he's I once like, you can't handle the truth.
Yes.
That's what I'm.
That was an amazing movie. Yes. That whole scene was amazing. Yes, I agree. Yeah. Okay. And then, so Aaron and your mom, what would they say was the quote that they would say you lived your life by? Now, remember, this isn't just now. This is, 100 years from now. This is later, much later. Looking back, what would they say was the quote you lived your life by?
I just got mine.
Go for it.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
And actually, he looks like Jon Snow to me.
Yeah.
The more you know, the more you know nothing.
You know nothing. It's this whole thing, not to go too philosophical, but we make all these assumptions of what we know. We really don't know anything. All of us that meditate and all that stuff. Yes. I've been doing it for 20 something years. I can't tell you what a chakra is, but everybody calls it chakras, and they tell you what colors they are. We don't know, but it's good not to know, because as long as you don't know, you keep searching. Yes. Right. So in the end, like anything that you say, I know this, you stop the process. Yeah. So in the end, I when I was 19, I thought I knew so many things, and now I'm 39. I'm like, I know nothing. I knew nothing. And I'm fine with it. I'm gonna run out of life before I want to know the things that I want to know, and I've come to peace with it. Like, that's okay. Yes. So in the end, you know nothing. You know nothing, Jon Snow.
All right, Mel.
Oh my God, now I feel bad. So I will say mine. It's be the change that you want to see in the world.
Yes. Love, love, love. Wasn't that Maya Angelou that said that?
No, Gandhi.
Gandhi.
Mahatma Gandhi.
Mahatma Gandhi, yes.
But absolutely. That's so true. Like, that's the only thing, like my experience so far, it's if you want to change something, just you do it for your life, because we tend to try to change others or change situations, but that's not the way that it works. No. The change starts within you.
Yep. Yes. Anytime you're thinking your partner isn't doing what you want them to do, or, you think there's something wrong with them, look inside, baby, look inside, because
Yep.
that's really where it's coming
Mhm.
from.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. All
Yeah.
right, you guys, this has been a blast. I know we could speak forever. We could talk
Yeah.
forever. But we only have people's ears for so long. So we do have to end it.
Mhm.
But I am so glad you were able to spend this time with me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
inviting us.
Yeah,
It's a blast.
it's a blast. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be in MKJ's podcast. Oh my
I
God.
know. It's like, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We'll
Thank
do
you
it
so much,
again.
MK.
We will be doing this again.
Please.
Anytime, anytime.
Thanks for listening to the My Chatbot Life podcast. To watch this video chat, visit mychatbotlife.com and get all the rocket boosters you need for your own chatbot success.